I think we should delay this game a little bit so he can have a nap. What do you reckon, Tom?
He can have a nap anyway, to be honest, and then just make up some stuff when it comes back. Not that any of us would ever do that.
I don't know
But,
if he'll have time, Tom. To be honest, this could be quite a quick one. You might oversleep.
Yeah, no one on this broadcast would do that and miss some segments if you were to go back and look at, say, maybe someone missing through a few of them. Then again, to be fair, one of the days he did just disappear, and then me and you had to come in and help out Dinko because his internet broke. Yeah, we're watching you, Blair. We know how this works.
Blair's had some interest in turns of affairs, actually, when it comes to it. He's had his internet break. There was a man drilling a glory hole in his roof at one point. It was very odd.
I don't think that's the truth.
That's what Dinko told me, but you know where his mind is all the time. We know what it was actually early in the morning as well, so he was probably just off of... anyways, let's get into the game.
A morning glory hole. There you go, perfect.
We're here for Checkmate versus ZIGMA map number 1, and when you look at Checkmate, they're definitely the stronger team. Results orientated, 100%. And the most impressive thing about these guys, if you don't know this team, is that they've come in with a stand-in. This guy Techno, he's a player whose lighting is colored a little bit different. He wasn't with the team. He wasn't supposed to be with the team. This guy, one of their teammates, broke their hands celebrating getting into this tournament, and then Techno stepped up. We didn't expect a lot from him. He had no HLTV page before this event. That's a nice little angle by Rue. But he came in, and he has been the most impressive player on this lineup by far. It's been a great debut for him, but in this round, he's going to get a 1-for-1 trade. Just Cause able to come through and pull it into a 3-on-2, and even a headshot. Oh my god, this guy is nuts.
Yeah, Kaz doesn't really know this, but he is basically already screwed in this round. Just Cause hitting everything. Didn't even need the flank in the end, which was coming in. And while ZIGMA are going to take themselves the pistol in a relatively clean fashion as well. I'd be interested to see how Checkmate play this map, because that's one of the weaknesses I've seen from this squad is in terms of overall firepower. I definitely think they do have some vulnerabilities, and I genuinely think that we might just see some of these players like move up eventually to the likes of a Tiger, or maybe switch out a few here and there, depending on if there's talent up and coming. Also, if they can get their previous player back. That is a wonderful shot from Kaz, though. Someone I think needs to step up in the series today. We mentioned it slightly, but this is a must-win for both teams. Like, this can't be just one of those, like, oh, if we win, and we win, we lose. Like, for ZIGMA, if they lose this map, they're basically out. Like, the maximum they'll be able to get is 3 wins. 4, I think, is the bare minimum you can get to get through. And even then, you're relying on luck from other teams. For Checkmate, they still have a 3 games left, and they're already on 3 wins. So they could realistically come, like, in a top 3 still, depending on how the games go. Obviously, still expecting them to scrape their way through, like maybe be the 5th or 6th team, but who knows? Like, the last few games they have, they've got ZIGMA and After, and Vici. But at least 2 of those I would expect them to win. The Vici one, sure, that's probably going to be a loss, and that'll put them on 5 wins overall, which should be enough to qualify.
Not only to qualify, it's enough to potentially even tie with Invictus. And if they can manage to get that, they lost Invictus, actually, didn't they? Yeah, they did. Still would put them in 4th place, and they would only have to play against Invictus. Oh, but that's a Vici. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Let's move on. They're gonna have a rough time, I think. Actually, just looking at it, they're gonna probably be playing up against.
I think once we get to playoffs, there's except maybe the 1st and 6th seed, there'll be a difference. I don't think it really matters. You just don't want to be the last seed because you're gonna be up against Tyloo.
Exactly. Yeah.
And well, maybe for Checkmate they put up a decent showing versus Tyloo, but at the same time, did we ever believe they'd win that series? No. So it's sort of one of those spots where if you get an Invictus, they've looked vulnerable. If you even get a Tiger, they beat Tiger already. So like there's definite opportunities for them if they do better, or if they manage to finish more middle of the pack. The problem is, I think if they were to face off against Avicii, which we will see going just before the playoffs, because that is one of the last games that will be played. That will be coming up tomorrow, in fact. I think Vici are going to smash them, because that's the one thing. I think the thing that really sells home for Checkmate is they have a lot of good protocols, whereas Vici have the best protocols of any team. So I don't think they're going to match up too well. This is looking good, though, so far for ZIGMA. The cleanup looking strong. Lots of money made in the early rounds, and with the 3-0 start on Mirage, they're in a very good position. But this is where the going gets a little bit tougher. Kaz brings in an AWP. Actually, so does Rue. Now, there's not been too many double up setups that have impressed me within this tournament. I think that a lot of the time it seems a little bit oversold, like with teams bringing up the double up. I think probably the most impressive ones have come from the likes of Tyloo when they like to throw it in, like either like Summer or Ping was unreal. The one game that he picked it up, and then obviously somebody being the secondary or always going to be OP as hell. But yeah, other than that, some of them have been fairly underwhelming. Aggressive position from Blitz. That's a one and done if ever I've seen one. And considering this is not necessarily a bonus round for ZIGMA, but a round that the CTs desperately need to win, that is not the best of starts.
Not ideal. Not what you envision when you think about the rounds. And I feel like for Checkmate, though, the mental position at the moment has got to be tough to deal with if they lose this round. ZIGMA could be on the verge of a morale victory, more so than just the rounds. It's all down to Hawk. He's tucked underneath the wood. And he's not being spotted just yet. He gets one, but that's all. It gives them a chance to get back in. Techno has swapped over to the M4 in this retake. Doesn't want a double op coming through. Connector, and what is Rolex doing? He shifts through the smoke, gives away the kill, and puts it all onto Reality Jesus. The op looking for a pick here. Little does he know there's two! The spray down almost connected. He could have gotten a second kill off of that. Luckily, it's Cat. What a swing by Reality Jesus. 4-0 for ZIGMA. A big win there for them. And 7-1 on Reality Jesus. He is dominating. The two players on the ZIGMA lineup have yet to get a kill.
Wait. Yeah, two players have yet to get a kill, and then two of them combined have 16. Just Cause from his pissed around heroics as well. That's ridiculous. In fact, everybody else in the server combined don't even add up to those two players. So a great start. I think the sort of momentum that we're looking for ZIGMA if they are going to win this series. A team that, again, like both of these teams coming into this, we didn't really know a massive amount about. They came in as the sort of second team from their region, and interestingly, both have then beaten the #1 team in their region. So they've done their homework. For anybody wondering, for ZIGMA, that would be Beyond. Actually, both of them are beating Beyond. And then Tiger is obviously the team from the same region as Checkmate. Nice shot. Okay, Techno. That's not bad. This is, I don't know if you mentioned it when you were bringing him up. Just for anybody wondering, he is 16 years old. So this is someone with a bright future within Counter-Strike as long as he finds the right team to get behind him. And well, there's not many players that I keep an eye on from the Asian region, but after doing this event, there's certainly going to be a few I'm going to watch. The same from the Australian tournament as well. The Young Savage, I think, will be one. Vexite as well. And then, of course, in this tournament, I think it's fairly obvious it's going to be Techno and Ronan. Rue, though, has just found another one. They didn't invest into this round, Mitch. This is just pistols. That's all they've got. Just pistols. And they survived with 4 players alive. I was saying how good the ZIGMA side were doing. And now this has happened. It's too early for this, Mitch. It's too early.
At the same time, though, you've got this position where, you know, 2 players are having this really, really rough time. Is it reliable then? You know, if you take down the likes of Reality Jesus and Just Cause,
he one-digged both of those players.
Yeah.
Like the 7-1, the 9-1. They're just like, see you later. You ain't got nothing on me.
He is unbelievable. But with that, you know, Checkmate, they'd find this round. It's a godsend, but it's not repeatable. Oh, I love that attempt.
He gets the fadeaway.
I really love the attempt by Hawk. I think that was 100% the right play, but Rolex hitting that shot is 1 in a million.
Oh, nice shot from Kaz. Got to try and bring this one back. He's dead. That's a really nice Molotov, and PPO Vido's able to capitalize on it. Techno's trying to get back in time, and well, I was going to say he's got an opening, but the smoke's gone down. Seems like ZIGMA definitely well drilled on this map, and that's something I like to see. Sure, the smoke's not perfect, but at least it's there. I think that's the level I'm hoping for at this point. Techno last man standing. They do have some extra cash in the bank, but not a huge amount. So he should probably try and save, if anything. This almost looks like an attempted ninja, which, well, not going to work. He's been spotted as well. Even retreating should be impossible. Niffy waiting on the angle. And yeah, money's actually not too bad in this case. They will be able to get a buyout. Orps can come in as well for the CT side if they're going to bring them in once again. And by the looks of it, they will. I wonder, was that actually a glass cannon for Kaz? But yeah, this shot, that's so lucky. Yeah. You could tell, like, even he was probably like, oh, that was close.
Yeah, Hawk was so quick to react there as well and swinging around the corner. I think probably the onus a little bit on his teammate, but at the same time, they were baiting in. Look at this faster play, up in the pace towards short, getting the map control, and then they just pump the brakes. They're happy with what they've got. Reality Jesus, though, takes down Rue, so they look for the control over the site. They've spotted Techno on short. They know where he is. The molly down. They don't expect him to already be in this corner. They think he's deeper down, but they're still checking it, still being cautious. And that's what I like to see. Not leaving their bias in where he would be to get themselves killed. Blitz, I think he might have heard if he get ticked by the Molotov. And I thought that was a lineup, but now a 2v3, a difficult position for Checkmate to pull back into. Hawk is trying to creep out on the side, but his teammate falls on short. He spams and gives away his position, and with that, the round ends 6-1 to ZIGMA. What a convincing situation this has been in the early half.
Yeah, great start for sure, and it just seems like really that it's a lot of pick play. They're getting a hell of a lot of openers. Their players are performing well, and in this situation, it was just a lot of 1v1 duels. In fact, every single one was very, very easy for them. And we're going to see the smokes being set up. And this time, once again, it is only going to be pistols. Then again, those are the only rounds that have actually been won. They're in a decent position here. Blitz holding onto the angle. He's got Hawk to support. Again, these pistols seem to do the damage. But it's Reality Jesus. Not just to find one, but find a second through the smoke. He's retrieved that AWP. Kaz is dead for sure, but he takes one with him. That was actually quite smart. He delayed a little bit, although they should have heard him burning in the Molotov anyway. Techno is still standing alongside Rue. I'll make that just Rue. 2 players to find. Not going to be going down, but it's not going to give him much of an angle. I thought he might try and jump over the top. He's taking nade damage and hoping to grab an angle onto one of these players. But the fact is, this round is basically over unless he pulls off a miracle.
I mean, look, 2 digs, it's not impossible, but when there's a couple AK bullets in you, it definitely is. I feel like ZIGMA, they're so far ahead right now, and in that mental game, for Checkmate, it's going to be difficult to keep themselves in this one. Remember, Mirage is not a map where you can say, oh, well, you know, at least in the next half, they'll be able to bounce back. Like, it's a very even map, and coming into this one, with ZIGMA in the position they're in, we need almost a flawless half to come out for Checkmate. I think there's a lot of pressure on them coming into this buy round to get the rounds on the board. Otherwise, they're going to make things pretty difficult for themselves when it comes through to the next half. Task only gets more difficult, but at least in this round, a little bit of the weight has been lifted off their shoulders. A good opening pick by Kaz leaves them in this position now to let the T's make the drive. They don't need to do anything over on the CT side. They don't need to play overly aggressive or give away picks. They are maintaining control over bottom mid. And just making sure no one comes through underpass from the connector play. But other than that, it is just it's not even a standard hold time. There's only one player B, and he's not even jump spotting aggressively. I don't like this setup at all.
Yeah, I think he's using a little pixel gap in the window to jump spot. So he is spotting, but he won't see them until they're a little bit further. So that's going to be the call. So I actually quite like that jump spot. It's a lot safer than the regular one that we see. Now Rue's managed to find a kill. The rotations come in. Techno's gone down, though, and Rue's going to fall as well. Kaz eventually gets one, but he's having to try and wide peek just to find anything more. And the shots coming across are doing a hell of a lot of damage. Rolex is going to drop one. And with Just Cause alongside him, I would bank on them winning this round. The CTs also don't have a kill, although I imagine there's one down on the floor somewhere. I would hope so, at least, with the amount of money they had going into this round. Blitz also, with a full belt of utility. HE Incendiary can force Just Cause out of this back window, but he's probably going to go for the element of surprise. And he should have a free kill onto either one of these players, but Just Cause, how's he managed to hit that shot? It's left all onto Hawk. He spots the man at the back, but he's being surrounded slowly, and the time is ticking away. ZIGMA, they're going to win an 8th round. That was looking like one that should have gone the way of Checkmate, but they're just not hitting their shots.
Yeah, this is a flat performance from Checkmate off the bat. Leaving them in a position 8-1 down, Eco coming up. I mean, I don't know where you look if you're the Checkmate side. I don't know what you can say to your players if you're a coach for this team. You know, it's grim. It is grim. The chances of them coming back are very, very low. But Reality Jesus opening up this round, I mean, I suppose it's not too much of a surprise. They are just up against pistols, and it was a mid-peak with an AWP. It'd be more upsetting if the Deagle had found that. At least Blitz comes back with another. But for Checkmate, I've got to see this position where things change. That B hold from the previous round, I really don't like it because I think the jump spot itself is good. In fact, I much like yourself, I very much like it because it doesn't give you that added risk with the new balcony. Well, the current balcony, shall I say. Not that new anymore. But problem is, that works very well if you have a player on short. Because the player was in ladder room, you will not get the reaction in time for them to come and help you. So you spot them and go, oh, they're coming B, guys, but you're still in a 1vx whenever they come out.
He did get there in time.
That was more the fault of ZIGMA not upping the pace.
That's true, but yeah, in this case he did, but they still lost, which if anything is worse. Oh dear. It just seems like they're not on point at the moment. I'll be honest. I think even on an individual level, we're just seeing poor performances across the players from Checkmate and ZIGMA. Well, they've done their warm-up today. Individually, well, maybe not Niffy, but that's been one of my sort of problems of this squad, is he has gone missing on multiple maps now throughout this tournament. But the rest of the squad performing incredible. Just Cause 16-3, Reality Jesus 14-4. I wonder how Blair's feeling about his 2-0, because I'm not even feeling confident about my 2-1, and I expected them to lose this map.
Yeah, see, there's a big difference, right, Tom, between them losing this map and being absolutely bodied on this map. Because when you're losing all these aim duels, I don't think anybody's going to come in and go, well, you know, maybe they just weren't comfortable with Mirage. Like, no, they were. Everyone's comfortable with Mirage. And
maybe they weren't confident with Counter-Strike.
Exactly. That's more the question. And at the moment, it is definitely looking like it's an argument that could be made. The ZIGMA are looking like, ooh, okay. They're looking good. That's a nice little push. The nade obscured the vision, but into Just Cause. He's just getting the opportunities. He's done good damage, but still the man advantage taken firmly out of their hands. This should be a Checkmate with another round at long last.
One tap.
Clean.
156 ADR. Damn, and 23. Wow, that averages out quite nicely. Let's see, you put them together and they're two okay players.
In fairness for Niffy though, he's they are up 9-2. Like you can come in running into sides backwards if you want.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, well, if you're winning rounds, maybe it's...
Summer does it.
Somebody does it through smokes.
He runs him forward. He's not expecting any sort of flash. But here we go. Execution onto the B site. The B site hold has been weak so far, and Techno's only going to manage to get one. Rue has to re-peek, and he gets caught out. The curse of the B site continues once again. It's something we've witnessed throughout this tournament. It's something we've witnessed for Checkmate, where their B site of this map was poor, and it's still looking that way. And the thing that's disappointing is they are very, very slow to try and adapt things. And mostly their adaptation is one of, what if we put an AWP there? Which it's never going to fix all of your problems. Like if your initial B site holder is consistently getting wrecked, you need to either switch up who's there, maybe take some aggression. Like, we haven't seen them actually try and take App's control. It's always just been, well, you sit back, try and get a kill, and we'll try and like almost retake or get there on time. It's just not a good setup. And you can see that there's someone like Techno at the moment, although he's not even that far down on the board, he's struggling with getting a kill and dying, which in some sites, in some situations, that can be enough. On the B site of Mirage, it's not. You need to be living longer than that. You need to be taking players down. You need to be slowing the push. Now, they're taking a second tactical pause, which I appreciate. But at this point, I feel like you either need to get an initial setup where maybe Kaz is holding into the apartments deep, set him up with some smokes to get him in position to try and hold this down, or even just go for a riskier stack in the initial stages of the round, because note that ZIGMA only really go there within the first 30 seconds. So if it's not there within 30 seconds, then rotate some players off, switch things up. Have the AWP hold down some angles in a more passive way, or even just play a retake strategy on A, which is very much viable, especially with the amount of utility they have. Just fighting with these standard setups on the B site, it's not working for you, so change it.
Really, the issue is how they're turtling, right? The fact that they are just saying across the map. Now, I'm talking their mid control has been, I think this is one of the most aggressive positions we've even seen anything attempted around middle. And there's only one player here. At most, they're going to take down PP Overdose. And it's a straight push into the A site. One player in position. One smoked off. No smokes. No, they're just going to go out and take the fights. All right. Okay, well, it's worked for the kills as they go into a man advantage. Smokes eventually. Surely. Then cross them with a flash. And, of course, they win that fight. They don't deserve to, but of course they do.
Yeah, at the same time, I don't think either team played this round well. Like a 4v4 retake, I'd say that you could probably have that in the bag, but instead Blitz decides to wide peek when he knows there's multiple players pushing. That's just stupid. Like, even if they didn't put down a smoke, like it doesn't matter. Like, even if you get one, chances are they're traded and then you're in a worse position than you would have been. Peek back in from Rue, though. Techno, okay, he's found another one. It might not matter the previous mistakes if they can take this round home. Niffy, he's been having a bad game so far, but he might have just saved them here. He's going to find the final man through the smoke. 11-2. He stepped up when he was needed. Wow, this map's done, surely. Everything I've seen so far from Checkmate is back to what we saw in the initial days, where it was just disappointing. And the problem is, you're right, like, the peaks that the T's were taking here were silly, but that peak is just stupid. Like, what are you expecting to happen there? Like, you know that they're pushing the A site. You know there's a player in Palace and multiple players on ramp. So you wide peek out on an angle where you can be seen from Palace, ramp, and anywhere else on the A site?
Not just that, Tom. The issue I'll highlight even further is the fact that they played a setup which was based around mid control, which had 2 players B, 2 players mid. They got pushed on A. At that point, that what I would describe your A-hold as is retake. So why do you not set up to retake? That is literally the point of your... Sorry, where's that gone? Where's that molly gone? It's gone in the door. Someone sat there having their dinner. They just sat eating a chicken sandwich. And the molly's come through their door. That's... Well, it's closed. It's faded through. Poor fellas. Luckily, it looks like their decor wasn't made out of wood because it hasn't caught fire, so they're all right. Just a little bit of a tickle, a little bit of a wake up. Probably saved them a couple quid on heating, actually. Although looking at where this is, I don't think there's much heating necessary. And this map is based in Morocco. So there you go. And I'll tell you what, ZIGMA, if they are the Moroccan terrorists, they're going to be coming in saying, I can't remember the phrase now. Never mind.
Fantastic. I'm glad you brought that
I
one
remember
up.
it now. I remember it now. God damn it. So one of those things, you remember a specific thing that you learned at one point, and then as soon as you go to bring it up, you're like, oh, this is a time I can bring up that thing. Wait, what was the thing? It's Alhamdulillah, which is like, oh, thank God. Because they're dominating. They came into this, and it didn't look great.
What does it mean?
I just told you, it means thank God.
Oh. I thought that was like... You going, thank God. Like, I thought that was like a...
Oh, right, okay, I get
like,
you.
Thank God you remembered it.
No. No, it's, that's what it means. It's like, oh, God, thankfully. That one's worked out. But oh no, he's gone through the window and they have no idea. He's a cat burglar and he's come through and he's stolen away Rue's life.
Yeah, now he has 10 lives. Well, Rolex, he'll go down, but the trades are coming in fast. PP overdose even just with the last few bullets. It's going to kill off one more man. This has been a poor performance from Checkmate, to say the least. Like, we spoke about them having a weak map pool, but to this extent is slightly ridiculous. I understand that they've got a stand-in, but this has been, oh, ungodly. And to be honest, I can't even put it down to the stand-in. Like, sure, the B side was weak, but the A side wasn't good either. Mid didn't work. It just seemed like they got beaten out on an individual level, and ZIGMA are here to play today. 2 players right at the top of the board, but it's not like there's been a weak link for this team. Niffy was having a slow performance, then wins a clutch and pushes himself back up on the board. And well, 13-2. Blair said he thinks this is going to be a 2-0.
For
See if
Checkmate.
he's right, you know? Yeah, for Checkmate.
That's the important part.
Yeah, he didn't believe in ZIGMA at all.
We told him it was dangerous. We told him, you know, maybe not the best idea. We all went 2-1. But boy, he's a rogue agent.
We all thought it was going to be a close tie.
Oh, yes, Rolex. Great pick. He's out of there. They flash just cause though, so he's not able to catch up the kill on the cross. And then Rolex is overwhelmed. They're smoked out, and this is it's gonna actually be a retake.
Well, they've got a kit available to them. The smoke going to be used to try and get them out the door, but the thing is with that door, it's a very small angle. So even spamming through the smoke is going to be relatively easy for them to do some damage. It's going to be tough to get back into this now, especially with Rue finding another kill and PP overdose. Oh, he's not going to quite connect his shots. This is all too easy for Checkmate. They get themselves a pistol, a small lifeline as well. They have got a serious road to travel if they're going to bring back this map. But I would even just say, even if they get like 6-7 rounds, that build up a little bit of confidence in terms of their individual aim, I think that'll be good going into the next map.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you look at the position for Checkmate or any team. We've spoken with a lot of professionals, and they always say that finding those couple rounds towards the end of at least most teams, I know some don't think of it that way, but most teams in many different games have said that finding a couple rounds towards the end of a game, going into your next map, you're going to feel a little bit more confident. I think it applies even more so if it's your map coming up. But at the moment, ZIGMA, well, they've looked confident. They've looked clean. They lost 1 round. Let's see if they can pull it. Oh my god, they've left Rolex to find almost 3. 295 damage done. A 3v3 with players so low that 1 deagle bullet will take down 2 of them. Rue is the only one that has full HP. Luckily, he's the one taking the fight on the PP overdose, but then Niffy, he jumps through the smoke. And he is the hero of the CT side in this instance. Taking down the low HP player, but it's still Rue to deal with, and he's the only one left. They've spotted him in the corner. They know where he is to jump out, and they win the round. This is disgusting.
I got a little bit close on the time. A few more seconds would have been enough. You almost think if he wasn't in that close corner, they probably would have won that round just based off timing alone.
I almost think if his teammate at bench didn't just wide swing and get himself killed for no reason.
Yeah, it was interesting that Kaz decided to do that on such low HP.
And such low time.
Yeah.
And considering the position of his teammate. And that was just a stupid decision, really. And that's something that we compliment Checkmate for again and again to see, they're structured, they have good decision making. Well, that right there, I mean, look, I'm all down for playing with confidence, Tom, but when you've got 3 rounds out of 17, maybe don't.
Well, they've gone for the buy anyway. At this point, can't really blame them. The overdose flashes himself into the underpass, but not really going to see too much, and he's actually going to go pushing into mid. Clearly feeling very confident in himself, and considering he has one of the only rifles, this is a fairly big risk. There's a couple on the other side, but then again, none of the other players... Actually, Blitz does have armor, never mind. So if they did manage to find the kill onto him, that would be a pretty huge pick. Gonna try and have the setup. Nice Molotov, but actually there's a smoke coming up from a teammate. That's clever. He doesn't have to wide peek into the angle anymore. He can just sit in the corner, and they're gonna rotate Just Cause in to try and help him out. A little bit of team play, and he's gonna try and hold. Oh, the timing. Oh, it just about gets it done. The peek coming out from Just Cause won't get anything, but they've still got this man just waiting at the back, and they're just pushing to try and help him out of this corner. Very supportive teammates of ZIGMA. And honestly, this has been a fantastic performance from them. Techno now, the only one left alive. A 1 versus 4 turn 3. And well, he's got to try and retrieve the bomb now, as that fight really didn't go to plan. They were hoping to steal a weapon. Instead, PP Overdose is still standing, and Techno is the one to hit the deck. 15-3. ZIGMA have got this one in the bag, and there's not even going to be a bye going into this final round.
I sure hope Bled didn't take that nap, because we might not have him for this segment if he did. It is, I mean, I was joking saying it could be a quick game. I did not think it would be, Tom. I'll be honest. I saw a fairly drawn-out, scrappy series, but here we are. ZIGMA. Even a loss in the pistol round, they come back into the second. There is no stopping them right now. And they've undoubtedly looked like the better team. I mean, Tom, yourself and myself have been big fans of Checkmate from very early on. I still, you know, I don't know about you, I'm still standing by the fact that they'll probably make it to playoffs, but I don't know if I can stand by the fact that they'll win this map. Or, not this map. I definitely can't stand by that. I don't know if I'll stand by the fact they'll win this series. It's all well and good to say you have a bad map, your opponents felt more comfortable, yada, yada, yada. They've just played atrociously as individuals and as a team. Never mind, I'm not even taking the map itself into consideration. Decisions like that 2 versus 2 where Kaz just wide swings.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that, again, we talk about the depth within their map pool being poor, but this is another level. That nade, oh, that had the chance to get 2, and instead it gets absolutely none, but it's whittled away the remaining players even lower than they already were. Rolex is in a prime position. Nice shot from Techno, though. Again, he seems to be the lease of life on this team. One of the only rounds they've won was him getting a couple of deegs, and Root has gone fighting. Techno's going to go with him. It's left into a 2v2, but with 25 HP between the 2 remaining players, it is still not a good position to be in. Blitz is trying to hide around, but he might actually sell out Techno, and in fact, he's going to go down as well. One of the fastest maps we've probably seen in the PAL so far. A 16-3 in favor of ZIGMA. They have absolutely decimated Checkmate, the team that we expected to win this one. And while they're going to have a real turnaround